President Bola Tinubu launches Youth Academy, a new initiative to tackle unemployment. Sauka community in Abuja gets First Lady's blessing as Oluremi Tinubu promises to address long-standing concern of tuberculosis. Hello, thank you for joining us on the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. Reaching you live from Abuja. I am Nolene Ebel Ame. And here is the news. President Bola Tinubu has officially launched the Nigerian Youth Academy, aimed at empowering young Nigerians to participate actively in nation building. The academy is expected to compete at the global stage by ensuring their voices are heard in shaping the policies that impact their lives. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
This academy will focus on three critical areas: education and skills development, economic empowerment, and leadership and civic engagement.
A dream come true for Nigerian youth, a promise kept by the president, and the event was complemented with a start-up package of 1 million naira to 6 beneficiaries, one from each geopolitical zone, aimed at empowering young Nigerians through vocational and innovative skills.
Yet we must acknowledge the challenges that persist. Nigeria's human capital index ranking remains below its potential, with youth unemployment and learning poverty presenting critical barriers to progress. The statistics are just not numbers. They reflect lives disrupted, dreams deferred, and futures left uncertain. The Nigerian Youth Academy is our commitment to changing this narrative.
60 million Nigerian youth, I think those between the age of within our borders and across the diaspora, who are hungry for knowledge, skills.
2 years, we would deliver at least a youth with 2 skills of over 5 million Nigerian youths that we can get. And our mantra again for this is 1 youth, 2 skills.
On the 10th of March this year, we created a committee for the National Youth Conference, a platform to address the diverse challenges and opportunities confronting young Nigerians, who constitute more than 60% of the population, all in creating a pathway for a brighter tomorrow. The government is also implementing several other youth-centric programs, including the 3 Million Technical Talents Program, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund. In addition, the upcoming Renewed Hope Labor Employment and Empowerment Program, aimed at facilitating the creation of 2.5 million jobs, directly and indirectly. From the State House, Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
The House of Representatives Committee on the Constitution Review says there is no going back on its March 26 deadline for submission of proposals for state creation. This was while receiving a repackaged proposal for the creation of Edo State out of the present Niger State. The proponents expressed optimism that its latest proposal will meet constitutional requirements for state creation, given the economic potentials and landmass of the proposed Edo State that will comprise 8 local governments in the present Niger State.
Talk about potentials. When you talk about natural endowment, when you talk about a state that will add, not take away from the center, believe you me, Edo State qualifies.
It would be recalled that 31 proposals for state creation earlier received by the House Committee failed to meet constitutional requirements, hence an extension of deadline to March 26, 2025. In other news, 3 out of the 12 inmates who escaped from the Medium Correctional Center in Koton-Karfe, Kogi State, have been recaptured, while search for the remaining 9 intensifies in the state. Jonathan Omajali reports.
The Koton-Karfe Medium Correctional Facility housed 243 inmates until the early hours of Monday, when 12 inmates escaped after killing the security guard on duty.
Lost one personnel. What happened after they manipulated the key, they tied 2 of my personnel who were on duty up, strangled 1, and then made good their escape route.
The incident has raised growing concerns, serving as a grim reminder of previous jailbreaks at the facility.
3 of them have been recaptured, remaining 9, and they will also be recaptured because the search party, they are in town. All the exits have been cordoned off, and we are having very good synergy with all the security agencies to make sure that these inmates that escaped are recaptured.
Apart from getting to the root of it, they must recover every other. The remaining 9 must come back to custody immediately.
Disturbed by the attack, the Ohimege of Koton-Karfe has directed local chiefs and security personnel to step up efforts to recapture the fleeing inmates.
On my part, I have sent messages to the village chiefs around the facility. The chief of Osuku, Onzo, Ogbendu, and Pareke. These are the immediate communities around the facility. To alert them of what has happened and for them to be vigilant of any strange movement, so that if they see any of such, they report immediately, so that such escapees can be apprehended.
The last attack on the facility was in 2016. Jonathan Omajali, NTA News.
In a similar news, earlier we were joined by the Commissioner of Information, Kogi State, Kingsley Femi Fanwo, who gives us more insights on efforts to recapture the escapees.
All right, there's been a jailbreak in Koton-Karfe. What's your reaction to this, and what is the state government doing to help the authorities recapture these escapees?
Thank you very much. Immediately, we got the report of the jailbreak, which happened at about 1 a.m. This morning. The state government swung into action immediately to ensure that the 12 inmates that escaped from the facility were rearrested and brought back, and also to ensure safety of people around the place. The state government reacted to it in the morning, where we made our views very clear about it. Unacceptable, unfortunate, and something that would have to be investigated deeply so that all the perpetrators will be brought to book. Also, we also expressed our view on the fact that we do not believe it is a jailbreak. It was a cleanly orchestrated and executed plan to free some inmates there, because no part of the facility was damaged by those who escaped. So we have called for very intense investigations to get to the roots of the matter with a view of averting possible future occurrence. These are some of the things that we have come out to say as a state government, and to reassure the people in Koton-Karfe that the state government is working very hard to ensure their security. The governor already directed the state security advisor to network and work very closely with all the security agencies to ensure that all those that fled were apprehended and brought back to the facility. So far, when we issued our statement in the morning, only one of them had been rearrested. But the information we are getting is that about 3 of them are already back to the facility. So we are still looking for 9, and we have also made an address to the people of the state to provide useful intelligence that will lead to the rearrest of the criminals that escaped from the facility.
All right. While you're making efforts with the Correctional Service to ensure the security of Kogi State people, by the way, are you also making some efforts to work with the Correctional Service to ensure security in the custodial centers across Kogi State to forestall future occurrence?
Yes, we as a government, we've made it a matter of policy to always support all federal security agencies in the state in order for them to be able to do their job without hindrance. And that is what the state government has been doing. A few weeks ago, we still had some collaboration with the Nigerian Correctional Service, especially the Correctional Center at Cotton Karfi. We have also been able to network with the Nigerian Correctional Service to provide adequate security at all the custodial centers in the state. So this one is it's not as if people came from outside to come and attack the place. That's why we are calling for very serious investigations. We have been able to, with the measures and the mechanism that we've been able to put in place, to be able to combat people that come out to come and break the prisons. But now it is something that they have to investigate and let us know the culprits, both within and outside of the site.
Elsewhere, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, arrests 133 suspects at a Ponzi scheme academy in Abuja. A statement by the head of media and publicity of the commission says the academy, located in Gwagwalada, is in the business of recruiting young Nigerians who are trained to recruit more citizens into the scheme with the promise of getting unrealistic profit returns. The suspects are enrolled in a training codenamed Special Training for New Generation Billionaire. By obtaining a form the promoters called Independent Representative Application Form. The EFCC carried out the operation in collaboration with officers and men of 176 Guards Battalion, Nigerian Army. Items recovered from the suspects include phones, computers, and other electronic gadgets. The suspects will be arraigned before a competent court of jurisdiction as soon as investigations are concluded. Nigeria is holding a signpost of progress in tackling security challenges on account of reforms embarked upon by President Bola Tinubu in security sector in line with global best practice. Minister of Defense Muhammad Badaru Abubakar said the country under the watch of President Bola Tinubu will not succumb to non-state actors which call for robust military collaboration in terming insecurity. Haruna Muhammad reports that the minister was speaking at the opening ceremony of 800 Special Operation Force of the Armed Forces of Nigeria at Camp Kabala, Jaji Cantonment.
As Nigeria continues to strive towards overcoming security challenges across the country, this Special Operation Force of the Armed Forces underscores the priority placed on national security for the security and development of Nigeria and its citizens. Challenging but surmountable, the Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa reiterates the force's capacity and determination, trained in fieldcraft, night operations, and ability to take off the enemy better than they fight, charging them to defeat the enemies of peace at their games.
Today's ceremony therefore marks a significant milestone in our commitment to enhancing our national security and ensuring that our armed forces are well equipped with the necessary skills and the capabilities to address contemporary challenges.
The Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badaru Abubakar, says in line with the Renewed Hope agenda, the armed forces, allied force are to operate with precision, responding to national security threats.
The battlefield keeps changing, it's dynamic, and we have to continue to train our personnel to adapt to the changing challenges. And this training will provide them with the state-of-the-art facilities and also the right training to tackle the new challenges we are facing.
The Special Operation Force of the Armed Forces, highly trained, adaptive and disciplined, are to execute operations towards the safeguarding the territorial integrity of Nigeria with precision against any emerging threats. From Camp Kabala, Jaji Cantonment, Kaduna, I am Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
Thank you very much, Haruna Mohammed. And you are still watching the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. Let's take a break. The news returns shortly. Thank you for staying with us. Let's shift our attention to health now. 2025 World TB Day will remain remarkable for the people of Sauka community in Abuja as First Lady Oluremi Tinubu promises to address their long-standing concern at health facility. Uche Ogochukwu was at the community where many people received a free screening and treatment for tuberculosis TB.
This is Soka Village, a community tucked away on the fringes of Abuja, Nigeria's capital. Here, an estimated 3,000 people live, most in cramped, poorly ventilated homes, where daily survival often takes precedence over health. With overcrowding, poor sanitation and a lack of clean water, Soka Village provides a fertile ground for the spread of tuberculosis. The absence of healthcare facilities only worsens the situation, making early detection and treatment nearly impossible. It is these glaring vulnerabilities that have made Soka Village the focal point of this year's World TB Day activities. For the first time in years, there is a glimmer of hope. Spearheaded by the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, a health facility is on the horizon.
TB is a serious health issue in our country, especially in remote communities where many people may not have access to TB diagnosis and treatment. However, the good news is that TB is preventable.
The World Health Organization called urgent investment into TB care, lamenting that drastic and abrupt cuts in global health funding threaten to reverse decades of progress to combat the disease.
Also, a team of TB champions led by the Stop TB Partnership Nigeria is working tirelessly, offering free screening to residents. Among them is Monday Musa, who, like many in this community, having heard about the symptoms, risks and importance of early detection of TB, takes what could be a life-saving step.
I have some symptoms that I heard about it, so that is the reason why I just come, so that they will be tested me and give me the drugs.
It's me. I don't see person where we say it better cure am, because the person take the treatment for good 6 months.
I assure you that the traditional division will collaborate with health personnel to pursue the compliance, to ensure compliance. The message will be carried out to all knocks and chronic in the FCT.
We Fit Duam is not just a slogan here. It is a call to action that is already making impact. For the people of Soka, this is more than just an event. It marks the beginning of a healthier, more secure future. Uche Ogochukwu, NTA News.
And still talking health, Meningitis has claimed 25 lives out of the 224 cases so far recorded in Sokoto State. Confirming the outbreak, Commissioner of Health Dr. Farouk Umar Abubakar Wurno revealed that the incidences were reported in 5 local government areas of the state, emphasizing that government has taken adequate measures to curb further spread of the disease. Dalhatu Abdullahi reports.
There has been outbreak of meningitis recently in the neighboring Kebbi State with a disturbing number of deaths. In Sokoto State, Tambol, that shares borders with Aleru, Gwandu and the Jega local government areas of Kebbi State, is the worst hit with 193 reported cases, followed by Shagari, Yabo, Godabawa and Gada. Out of 224 cases, 175 have been treated and discharged, while 24 are still receiving treatment at different health facilities across the state. Sokoto State government has put in place local government surveillance officers, epidemiologists and emergency response team on higher alert, and awareness campaign has been launched to make the people of the state more vigilant on the imminent dangers of the deadly disease.
So far, we collected about 42 samples size of CSM, and 30 were reported as positive, and out of the number, 22 are from Tambon, 3 from Wadabawa, 3 from Shagari, and 2 from Yabu local government, respectively. So these are the cases that we have at the ground, and I want to say the case management of meningitis was effectively and professionally managed in the state, and that's why the number were curtailed to minimum.
To ensure public safety during the outbreak, the general public are advised to avoid overcrowding at night, sleep in well-ventilated places, identify and report unusual symptoms such as back pain, excessive body temperature, stiff neck, nausea and vomiting, among others. Prompt response by Sokoto State Government under the Ministry of Health and stakeholders is assisting in minimizing the spread of the disease and casualties. In Sokoto, Alhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
In other news, the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, has warned against indiscriminate printing of unauthorized so-called NIN cards by business centers while charging unsuspecting members of the public exorbitant fees. A statement by Head of Corporate Communications, Kayode Adegoke, indicates that NIMC has not authorized anyone or organization to print any card in place of the general multi-purpose card, warning that it is against the NIMC Act number 23 of 2007. The statement adds that security agencies have been notified of these nefarious activities and mandated to apprehend those involved and made to face the full wrath of the law. The Commission reiterates that the NIN slip is the only legal document authorized as a means of identification, and it must be verified upon presentation to access services. Now, with prospects for harnessing more sources of energy, Nigeria is enhancing national nuclear security and safety architecture. This is coming as international experts converged on Abuja for the summit in line with the International Atomic Energy Agency standards. Ayodeji Makinde has details.
Nigeria has been making progress in nuclear products and energy regulations. This summit, the third in the series, encapsulates a global action plan by the International Atomic Energy Agency to improve national nuclear security regime. Director General, Nigerian Nuclear Regulatory Authority, Yel Idris, explains that the Integrated Nuclear Security Sustainability Plan, INSSP, will combat nuclear terrorism, safeguard radioactive and sensitive materials abound in the country.
NNRA issue import-export license for radioactive materials almost on daily basis. Security of this material really will improve the economy of the country, because the moment you have an accident, it is going to affect the economy definitely.
About radioactive materials and nuclear materials here. These materials, even though they are useful, they can cause harm. So we want to ensure that they don't get into unauthorized hands.
INSSP, will be reviewed to reflect national and global security threats spread over 6 functional areas of nuclear security, including national policy and strategy, legislative and regulatory frameworks, prevention, detection, response, assurance, and continuous improvements. In Abuja, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
Ayodeji's story concludes the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. Thank you so much for watching. I am Norlene Ebel Ame. Bye for now.